March of 2003, Juliana Wetmore was born without a face.
I think there's doctors that were in that delivery room that day. They're surprised she made it her first year.
This 5-year-old girl has undergone 27 major surgeries.
There's no one in the world like Juliana. She's the most extreme case that Dr. Wolf or anyone else has seen.
But Juliana has overcome obstacles no one dreamed she could.
It's amazing to see where she started and where she's at now.
She is learning to talk.
Brown.
And will soon be starting school.
Pretty much everywhere that we go, people stare at her.
At some point, she's going to understand the ridicule.
But with another landmark surgery just weeks away, it raises many questions. How much can Juliana take? When will enough be enough? And what does the future hold for the girl who was born without a face? Juliana Wetmore lives with her family in Jacksonville, Florida.
What did Shelby say?
Her mother, Tammy, is a stay-at-home mom who spends her days looking after 5-year-old Juliana and big sister Kendra, now 8.
That's rooster. You're a rooster? Kendra is a cow. Juliana's a chicken, and Daddy is a... What's Daddy?
Juliana's dad, Tom, is a flight engineer in the Navy. He is in the middle of a 6-month deployment in Europe. While he's away, the close-knit family keeps in daily contact via the internet.
Daddy wishes he was there. But you know what? We're almost halfway done. So just a couple more weeks and we'll be past the halfway point.
Hey,
You know?
are you Mommy's girl or Daddy's girl? What?
That's right. Are you Daddy's beautiful girl? Daddy's beautiful girl.
When we last saw Juliana, she was 3 years old and recovering from one of the most invasive surgeries of her short life. 2 years later, she's undergone nothing short of a transformation. Her face has become more functional, and she's communicating fluently.
My favorite fruit. Apples, yes.
And in just a few weeks, Juliana will be starting kindergarten.
Juliana's going into her very first year of elementary school. It's going to be difficult for me to be able to let go a little bit more. She's going to be in school all day long.
For the entire Wetmore family, it's been an extraordinary journey, filled with triumphs and setbacks, but one that few could have imagined so many years ago when Tammy found out she was pregnant with her second child.
We planned our second pregnancy with Juliana, and we were just elated when we found out that we were pregnant with her.
We didn't realize that there was as much wrong with Juliana throughout the pregnancy as it turned out. We knew that there was a few problems. We went to the first ultrasound appointment, and that was the first time where we kind of figured out that somebody was thinking that something wasn't quite right, because they asked us to come back again. They noticed that there was a little bit of abnormality with the shape of her head, and they weren't sure yet. It was still real early in the pregnancy.
The doctors didn't have any idea of what was going on. All of the ultrasounds that we had, they just kept telling us that she's moving. We can't get a good picture of her. So not knowing what to expect, it was terrifying for months. You know, about 4 months of not knowing. It's terrifying.
On the day of Tammy's delivery, the hospital prepared the neonatal operating room, and specialists were put on standby to deal with any emergency. After doctors broke her water, Tammy's labor progressed quickly.
Towards the end, we could see the doctor's face and realize, hey, there's something not quite right. They snatched her right out, and they went right by to the delivery room. All I saw was this kind of a smooth face. I could tell where her eyes were, but I couldn't tell if they were there, and all I remember seeing was a big old gap. Right away, they started going to battle stations on Tammy, and that's when they realized she was hemorrhaging. And unfortunately, when they broke her underwater as the uterine sac kind of ripped away from the walls of her uterus.
They had to put me under anesthesia to get all of the bleeding stopped before they lost me also.
They finally got to a point to where Tammy was stable for a few minutes, and one of the doctors next door poked his head inside and asked if, I wanted to come next door. And I went in, and I knew right away she was a fighter because I went to take a picture of her. When I did, she reached up and she grabbed a hold of her airway and she snatched it out. And of course, she couldn't breathe at that point. So her crashing, the doctors are going back trying to, get her airway reestablished. And so I knew, one, she was intelligent, two, she was a fighter, and she had an attitude, and that was what it was going to take for her to survive, and I knew that.
The first time that I actually got to see Juliana and focus on her was the day after she was born. She still didn't have a diagnosis yet.
What happened?
Baby, I'm sorry. I'm flushing these.
Do you want me to get you a toothbrush or toiletries or
No, I'm
anything?
going to summer camp, baby. I'm going to jail.
I don't know. What is our online